And welcome back to CTF Walkthroughs. I'm Callie Surfer, your host, and today I want to take you up to speed on what I've been doing in my free time here. I've been setting up an Active Directory sandbox so that I can practice different penetration testing, attack strategies, and all kinds of fun stuff in an environment that's first legal, second safe, and third has documentation so I can study attack vectors that other pen testers use.
Listen closely.
The name of this is Game of Active Directory, and it's super geeky. It's based on Game of Thrones, and here is the network map. There are actually 3 different forests, and they have some trusts built in and all kinds of services, and there are users with names from the TV show. And I wasn't one of those cool people watching the show when it was coming out, so part of my study is actually going to be watching Game of Thrones too for the first time. This is an attempt to go beyond the simple CTF challenges on Try Hack Me and Hack the Box and go more towards network penetration testing, where I'll have to be doing some pivoting and shifting between machines on the same network as I go for high-value targets in the system. One thing to note is the install is pretty involved, and it takes a number of hours to finish. So if you look at my system specs here, I'm running a Dell XPS 17 from a few years ago, and I have 31.1 gigs of RAM. And I'm pretty much maxed out. If you look at my system monitor here, I'm up in the 90s for processor and memory. So if you don't have a beastly laptop, you'll probably be better off running this on a desktop computer and then networking in from your attack box. That way your own laptop's resources won't be spent on running the Active Directory environment. So if you want to install this and get started yourself, I would highly recommend these videos from IT Security on YouTube. He has a whole playlist of setting up and then attacking the environment in different ways. This guy is awesome, so props to him for putting the details out about how to do this. If you go into the installation instructions, you can choose, there are a few different methods. I chose to use this one on VirtualBox using Vagrant and Ansible to install Game of Active Directory. And once I got through to the step where I actually installed it, I think it took about an hour or so. And what I was left with is my VirtualBox had created 5 new machines. So we have 3 DCs and 2 servers running. And then I had to add my own attack box as well so that I can get in there and start mixing it up in the Active Directory sandbox. So a few more things to note. There's some really awesome mind maps here that are also linked in the GitHub repo for Game of Active Directory. These go into detail about attack strategies for Active Directory. I think these will be just really invaluable as I go forward into my career as a pen tester. Probably it'll be something I'll look back at frequently. And then here, Mayfly has put out a detailed blog write-up of all the steps in attacking GOAD. Let's see. Oh yeah, lastly, I wanted to show you that after you install your VMs, you're not done yet. You still have a few hours left of installation. And if you go down on the instructions down to Vagrant, once you install Vagrant, you'll be creating a virtual environment and then installing Ansible and Vagrant. And then the part that I didn't realize I had to do is that you have to run all of the Ansible playbooks. So once you run this big command to install everything, you'll be going ahead into the Ansible directions and running this this command, and then the Ansible -playbook. And this command could take upwards of 4 hours to run. Well, it sets everything up in the Active Directory environment and runs all the automated scripts and everything to set up users, passwords, trusts, and all the extra stuff that a domain admin would usually do for you. So it's actually a huge time saver, but it does still take a lot of time. It also takes over 100 gigabytes of space. So you're going to want to set aside like half a day or so to get this set up. And then once you're set up and running, you can boot it all up, and you can go into your attack box that's connected to the same network. And I'll show you here with my Kali VM. So originally when I tried to run crack map exec to check for anything out there on the network, it came back with nothing. And that's when I realized I had to go back to this video and go through and install the Ansible script. And once I did that, you'll see that if I scroll down here, I checked my internet, I did the scripts, and then when I run crack map exec after installing everything, it now is able to see the different computers on the system and the SMB shares going here, and everything should be good going forward. So this is kind of a preview and a quick touch point about the setup of Game of Active Directory. So I hope that you follow the next series of videos on breaching Game of Active Directory. So I'll catch you next time. See ya.